I think we're missing more than half, but that's okay. I'll give it a couple more minutes before we dive into anything of
Okay.
importance. Okay. We can get started. So I guess a little bit on myself, about myself. My name is Summer, and I have been teaching at Jackson for a couple years now. I teach a lot of electricity courses, a couple of manufacturing courses, specifically safety, and a couple energy courses. So a little bit about my background. I am an environmental engineer. So I got both my bachelor's and master's degree from MSU in environmental engineering, which I know is a lot different than kind of this type of course, but engineers have to take a lot of different courses, specifically related to, electrical applications, safety, mechanical type classes. So even though I'm an environmental engineer, I took a lot of courses kind of geared toward this direction. Um, and yeah, so I worked at a plant up in Alma for a year, um, basically as a safety coordinator. So I just did all things safety there. I currently work for the state of Michigan as a drinking water engineer. So basically, I oversee a ton of large water systems. Jackson actually is one of them. So I'm very familiar with you guys' water that you drink. Basically, I just oversee all the plants and make sure that there are no water emergencies. So yeah, so I teach full time and work full time, which is why these classes are late at night. But yeah, basically today I'm just going to kind of dive through how this course works, make sure there's no questions on you guys' end. And yeah, so hopefully your first week back this fall, or if it's your first week back ever, is going well. But before I get started and kind of dive into the syllabus and the course and everything, are there any important questions that anyone has up front that they want to ask?
Not really. I
Uh,
emailed you about the CPT exam, but I emailed you before even clicking next. So I already got it all figured out now.
Perfect. All righty. That's good to hear.
When do we have to sign up for that CPT exam? Do we do that right away, or
Do
is
that
that
right
something we got to
away.
schedule
Yeah.
through
Um, I would
testing
do that.
lab?
I'm sorry.
Is it scheduled through the testing lab?
Yep. So there's a link. I will show you. Let me share my screen here. So you should be able to see my screen.
Yep.
There's a link under, if you go into the course under general, sign up for the CPT certification exam. Do that this week. Basically, when you click on this, it's going to open a new window and you can pick what date you want to do it. They're pretty easy to work with. So like if there's a better day, you want to do it obviously towards the end of the semester. This is a 7-week course. So that's, I don't know what week that is. I don't know off the top of my head, but you can just click on the one that you want to take, shows up the time, and yeah, kind of go through like that. And I'll talk more about what that means. But yeah, make sure you sign up for that this week. Any
Okay.
other questions up front? I'm sure you have questions as I'm going through, but just want to make sure I answer any.
That's it for now.
That's all I got.
All right, perfect. Okay, so this course is one of my favorites to teach, mostly because I think you get a lot out of it in the sense that you get the credit for the course. You also have the chance to get that CPT safety certification, and you get the OSHA 10-hour training certification. Or I don't know if it's called, yeah, I think it is a certification. Basically, that OSHA 10, if you don't know what that is, OSHA 10, there's also OSHA 30. Some companies require their employees, specifically those that are you know, like white collar workers or working like a physical job, they might require that training because
Right.
safety is so vital. And so it's great to have this training. It's a good thing to put on your resume. It's a good thing to talk about. It's a good thing to know about because as an employee, you should know your rights when it comes to safety, because if your company that you work for, you know, if you're a lineman and they're not following height safety requirements that OSHA sets, they can be held liable. They can get in a lot of trouble. And yeah, so I guess it's important as an employee to understand those safety requirements. Because if your company is not following them and you call OSHA, OSHA will show up and do something about it. So definitely important for you to know. No one deserves to get hurt on the job. So all discuss is we're going to talk a lot about safety, specifically in workplace safety, I should say. So this course is, let's go over the syllabus first. The syllabus is this document right here, which I'm going to open up. So, okay, let's make this one page here. Ooh, that is a little big. Oh, and that's a little small. What the heck? This is what you get for the first week. It's all just. I actually gave the wrong time in my earlier class today, so I had only half the students there. So I'm really hoping that this one goes a little bit more smoothly. But right now I'm zoomed 492%. Okay, let's see. I didn't even know you could zoom that much. Okay. Oh my goodness.
Crazy. Now it's like negative.
Yeah, we're not off to a good.
It's all right. Technology.
Yes, technology. I tell you, I use my husband's like gaming computer and I don't know how to. It's got
Oh
all these
wow.
high
Yeah, you
tech.
probably got a setup, huh?
He's got a pretty nice setup, I think, but not for me. It's confusing. So a little too high tech. Okay. So hopefully you can see it now.
Yeah.
MFG 135 is what you're here for. So we meet every Wednesday, 7 to 8. That is not required except for this first week. And I don't have it over as a requirement. One, because I know a lot of you work full time. This might be a weird time for you. And this course is pretty independent. So you don't have to meet. If you are clear on the requirements and cruising along in this course, you don't have to attend the 7 to 8, but I will always be on here 7 to 8, at least until, if no one logs on at 7, I'll stay on for at least 20 minutes just to make sure there's no questions. But so I'll always be here at 7. But if you don't have any questions, don't feel obligated to come. But on top of that, if there's ever like a day or any time that you are stressing about something, not understanding something, I have open-ended office hours. So send me an email and I will find a time that works for your schedule to meet with you individually and discuss any concerns or questions, whether that be 6 a.m., 11 p.m., we'll find a time that works for you. So just want to leave that out there, that I know online it's kind of hard, like the communication aspect, but I'll do everything I can to be as available as possible. But this is a pretty independent course, which is nice for those at work. So
Yeah.
information's there. For this course, like I said, there's kind of 3 requirements. So 3 pieces. So there's the OSHA 10 training you have to do, which we're going to do in the later half of the semester. That certification exam, which you have to sign up for this week, but I would encourage you to take it towards the end of the semester because that's at that point you'll have all the knowledge. And then there's some safety modules that we do the first couple weeks. So as far as your grade for this course, 85% of it, so the majority of it is the amateur modules. All of that stuff you do the first 3 weeks of the course, and that's what's in Canvas. So if you log into Canvas under this course, you'll see that there are 3 modules: module 1, module 2, module 3. In each of those, basically the intention is each week for the first 3 weeks, you get all those done. So module 1 should be done this week, these 7. Module 2 should be done next week. Module 3 should be done week 3. So that's your responsibility for the next 3 weeks. There's no deadlines in terms of like you have to get all these done on Tuesday or whatnot. Just make sure in 3 weeks. So let's see let me pull up a calendar. I would just encourage you that, so this is the first week. This course started the 28th. So sorry, one sec. Pulling up a calendar if I can. By the 16th, September 16th, I would try to have all of those modules done. Now, there
Yep.
are no deadlines for this course. So if you are delayed and have to do a couple of them the following week, that's okay. But the first half is those amateur modules. So definitely try to get those done, as soon as possible. Again, as long as everything's done by the end of the semester, which is I think this is a 7-week course, you won't be penalized. But for those modules, you can just click on them. And you'll see that each module has a pre-quiz that doesn't count towards your grade. This launch learning material, if you click on that, it is just essentially like a textbook. There's a couple like simulations. So like you can see this first one's 21 pages. Like there's talks about some things. And then there's a quiz here, and that's what counts towards your grade. So this quiz is only 3 questions, which is nice, but that's what counts towards.
So the quiz with 8 questions, what was that? Just like a pre-quiz?
That was the pre-quiz. I think that had 3 questions. So the pre-quiz does not count towards your grade. The only thing that counts towards your grade is that's listed quiz.
Oh, it was
The
just
questions
like
are
a
similar
little
though.
self-review that had the 8 questions, I think. Because I just did that one and it had 8 questions.
Oh, I think it's just showing me the pre-quiz right now, but I think the quiz had 8 questions.
Oh, that's what it might have been then. Yep.
So that's what counts towards your grade. So and you have to go through that learning material before it lets you take the quiz.
Yep.
So you have, I think it's 18 of those. So you have a couple weeks to get all 18 of those done on your own time, at your own pace, whatever time of the day you want to get them done. And then during week 4, that's when, from week 4 to week 7, that's when you do the OSHA 10. So OSHA 10 is 10 hours worth of training. And that's 10 hours that's mandatory in the sense that for everyone it's 10 hours. That's why it's called OSHA 10. It makes you sit on there for 10 hours, not in a row, but you can, do an hour here and there. Just you have to get all 10 hours done. Don't try to log on yet, because I think this accessing OSHA training, this isn't the right teacher code. I'll find that for you, what the right teacher code is, but you don't have to worry about this yet because we don't do it till week 4. So about in a week or 2, I'll send more information on like doing this training, but you do it on Career Safe Online. That's like a platform here. I'll just show you. It's this is a website you do it on, and I'll give you like you'll have to log in, and then I'll give you this teacher code. And basically this has like various different safety modules. I think it's got probably I think it's 10 modules, and each one's an hour. Like there's one on like PPE, one on fall protection, various things related to safety. And then after that training, if you take, I think there might be like quizzes you have to do with it, you'll get a certification, or you'll be certified in OSHA 10. And I think you can get like a card in the mail too. So that's kind of how the course runs. So you've got the OSHA 10 training, which isn't going to start till week 4. And then these modules right here are what you need to get done in the first 3 weeks. That OSHA 10 training though is a requirement. So even though it's only 10% of your grade, you have to do that in order to pass this class. So those 3 things, these amateur modules that are up on the screen right here, that OSHA 10 training, and that's taking that CPT exam are all required to pass this course. The CPT exam, your grade for that does not count. If you fail it, it does not matter. You just have to take the exam in order to get the credit.
So it's kind of just like taking an ACT in high school.
Right. Yes. But the benefit of doing well in that
CPT, you can actually put it on your resume.
Yep, you can put it on your resume and you get the certification for it. So, and I'll talk a little bit about that. So I thought I had
So it's not like a test to just go in and rush in, try to get it done. You
Yeah,
actually
definitely.
take some time on it.
Yeah, take some time on it. I just want to see if I can pull up. So the CPT exam, or like MSSC has 5 different exams. Safety, there's one on safety, one on quality, one on manufacturing, one on maintenance, and then a green one. I think it's like sustainability. And you are only doing the safety one. For some other classes, they might require the quality exam, the manufacturing. They're all different levels of exams. All of them are exams, but basically, if you earn the first 4 certificates, you receive the full production technician certification, which is a really good thing. I'm sure to have on your resume because, as a lot of you are
I've
probably
already
aware,
taken,
that's an
I've
area.
already taken 3 of the 4
Well, that's great. So hopefully
throughout the energy program that I'm in.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, hopefully this 4th one goes well and you get that certification, right? So,
Yep.
I'm sure that looks great on a resume, to have all of those. Okay, so let me see. I want to see if I can find, let me stop sharing for a minute. I have, the handbook that kind of talks through it a little bit more, which I'm gonna provide it to you guys because it's helpful. So, thought I could find it here. So let me download this really quick. Okay. Screen again. So I'm gonna put this in Canvas. This is a handbook that talks through that CPT exam. So you can see that, like we talked about, there's 4. You're only required to do the safety one here. So you get 90 minutes. It's 81 questions. All of them are going to relate to safety. And then if this might be good to skim through, but you can see that in order to pass that exam, you need a 76%, which means if you get a 76 or 81, 92, it doesn't matter. As long as it's above 76, you pass. Below that, you fail and don't get the certification, but you still get the credit for this class for taking it. Computer based, so it's on the computer. I don't think you get any, it's not open note or anything. And then if you scroll down, here it shows like how that exam is weighted. So like 5% of the exam are based on questions that relate to working in a safe and productive manufacturing workplace. 6% are talk about emergency drills and emergency response and so forth. So might be beneficial to kind of read through that, and just get a sense of like what is taken. The nice thing about that exam is some of the questions obviously are complicated, or they require former knowledge, but there's also some obvious questions, right, that talk about like PPE, and like don't wear a safety harness if you're climbing up if you're 100 feet on a roof, things like that. So that's a nice thing, is some of it's obvious, but definitely some of it is not obvious. So yeah, so I think that kind of studying for this exam is doing this course. So the amateur modules, the OSHA 10 training, that'll prepare you pretty well for this exam. But with that, so that's kind of a little bit about the course, a little bit of a crash course. I know I talk fast, but yeah, so I think it's, like I said, it's pretty independent. Make sure you do, there's this course requirement checklist, program of study, a pathway acknowledgement, and student success quiz. Make sure you do those. They're easy points. So it's just like a 1-question quiz in quotation mark, just to acknowledge a couple of things. And yeah, like, so I'll be on every day from 7 to 8 to go over any content that's confusing, answer any questions, talk through any concerns. And yeah, so from there, I saved a lot of time. I see there's a question in the chat. Let me see what that is. Or maybe it's not a question, but oh, okay. Can you retake module tests? I don't think there's a way for me to let you retake them. I wish there was. But the nice thing is there's 18 of them. And so if you do bad on one, it's not going to impact your grade that much. So that is a good thing. But no, I don't think you can retake like individual module. Good question. Any other questions? I guess I don't want to leave you guys all too early. But I just want to make the first week, especially to save time, as much time as
Yeah.
possible for any questions. So
Works
I'll
for
hand it
me.
over to all you.
No questions here.
I'm good.
Alrighty. Well, hopefully this goes pretty smoothly, and I'm here to help any way that I can. You should all have my email at this point. If I don't respond in a day, send me another email and I will get back to you. I try to get
Awesome.
back within 24 hours. You will never bug me. So if I'm not responding, send me as many emails as you want. I don't matter. I don't care what time you send them, 4 a.m., 1 p.m. I've got a newborn, so I'm up most of the day, and night. So with that, feel free to log off if you want. I'm gonna stay on because sometimes people like to ask like individual questions. So
All right.
but yeah, reach out if there's any question and get started. And I'll probably send an email, look out in like maybe the end of next week with that OSHA 10 information for how to sign up. And then throughout the next couple of weeks during these meetings, if you want me to go over any content like that might be confusing as you're going through those modules, I can kind of talk through that content with you and make sure you're fully prepared and learn as much as you can from this course.
All right. Awesome.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much. And yep, feel free to log off. And if not, I'll be on still. So
All right. Yep. Nice to meet you and see you every Wednesday or at least once a month.
sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
All right, I just got a little